I'm actually shocked when I look at the physical book and like how much we've read so far, because it feels like I haven't listened to this much of the book. That's our girl. That is our girl. Fisticuffs. I was like, I'm about to fist fight you with my freaking bare hands. Dorian is my Shayla. Dorian is my Shayla. I love him so freaking much. My boy. Besties, welcome to another installment of reading down all of the series we're currently in the middle of. We're trying to finish some of these. We are currently in the middle of 25. We actually finished 2 series in June. We finished the Rebel Blue Ranch series, which I'm in mourning. Like, I love that series so much. And we finished the Farseer trilogy. Crazy, crazy words that I didn't think were gonna come out of my mouth. Like, those books were insane. So we're gonna make some progress. The plan is to start with these two. I need to do some catch up on our Patreon Throne of Glass read along. Lily Goose Lane is my Patreon if you would like to join. It's always linked down below. Queen of Shadows was our June book, and I didn't touch this. I think after I finished Assassin's Quest last month, I was like, I cannot do another chunky fantasy. No ma'am. I gave myself a bit of a brain break, and now jumping back into this because this is my final like reread, and then I haven't read from Empire of Storms going forward. I'm having a good time with this. I'm gonna do some updates shortly. I'm on chapter 9. I'm on chapter 14 in this, so I do have an update, but we're going to immersive read Queen of Shadows, immersive read Empire of Storms. I'm not doing the tandem read for this. I just feel like that's too much for me. If I can read a Robin Hobb slow-paced book, I can read Tower of Dawn. Good morning. We are packaging some Pango orders and we have to run some errands. I have to drop off these Pango orders at the post office, and then I've been thinking about doing this for a while because it's been a long time since I've gotten any like candles or anything, but I forgot if it was Instagram or TikTok, I saw something that said the fall stuff was out at Bath & Body Works. I haven't been to Bath & Body Works in, I couldn't tell you how long, to be honest. Like, it's been a really long time. They have their fall scents out, and then also they have this, supposedly, allegedly, they have this wall, what are their wall scent things called? Like wall diffusers that have like lights, like nightlight. They have a bookshop one. And when it's nighttime, it projects like leaves onto the wall, and I was like, for July-ween, for summer-ween, this is perfect. So we're gonna go and see if that actually is the case at my Bath & Body Works. I really, 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 really hope that that's the case. I'm gonna be really disappointed if it's not. Gang, we won. We won the day. No one else is gonna beat us today. We got the bookstore, and it is a projector, confirmed. It projects like leaves, books, coffee mugs, glasses on the wall behind it. I'm so freaking excited to try this out. When it's nighttime and we have this going, I will definitely show you what it looks like. And then I also got this one. I do have already some diffusers, like wall diffusers like this around, but they're really old. I'm gonna keep them, but like, I just wanted to get some new pretty ones. I don't have any ones with like decals on them, which I'm so excited. I got 2 candles. They were having their semi-annual sale. So like we timed it perfectly. They didn't have fall stuff out. Like I thought there was a little bit, but not really. They just had like this new like bookstore launch, because they also have a scent. Did I get it? Yes. They have a scent called the Book Loft. There was another like bookish scent, but I didn't get a chance to smell it. But this one is a warm and woodsy scent, and it has fragrance notes of pair your favorite book with notes of crisp bergamot, woods, and a warm blanket. I tend to like those scents, like these kinds of scents from Bath & Body Works, so obviously this is going in this. I got Cactus Blossom because first of all, this color of this candle is so freaking, it's the most perfect pink I've ever seen in my whole life. Like perfect hot pink. This smells so good. It has a little bit of like a, I don't want to say like masculine scent, but like sort of masculine scent. Even though it's cactus flower petals, fresh citrus, and vanilla coconut, it doesn't smell like overly sweet. And then I also got, because we went there hoping for fall and they didn't really have anything fall inspired and it's July-ween, I got White Pumpkin and Oakwood from their White Barn collection. This one is fresh picked white pumpkin, smooth sandalwood, and spiced pear. I'm telling you, anything with sandalwood is so good. And this one does have kind of an overly sweet scent to it, but I feel like pumpkin is usually those kind of like overly sweet scents, and this one I didn't mind. Hello party people. We have been working and listening to Queen of Shadows. I actually have to switch over to a different book, Roll for Love, to finish filming a different vlog and edit it, the entire thing today. But Queen of Shadows, we have made it to chapter 31, page 265. I'm actually shocked when I look at the physical book and like how much we've read so far, because it feels like I haven't listened to this much of the book. Every chapter that we get from Dorian's POV, I'm like, my poor baby, my poor baby. And his chapters are usually quite short, like it's just a little check-in with him, and I'm like, my boy. Rowan has showed up, which was so random, but like so fun. I don't know how I feel about Aelin and Rowan. Like, in Air of Fire, I really liked them together, and I feel that I understood their dynamic in that book, and what it evolved to at the end was sort of confusing for me. And then in this one, the chapter that I just read, chapter 29, like what happens in that, and especially towards the end of that chapter, I'm like, but I'm having a good time. I would say like I'm probably not as obsessed with Rowan as like others are. I think he's really funny. I really enjoyed his character in Air of Fire, like a lot. And in this one, I'm waiting to see like what's going on with him, because we find out, I mean, I think we already knew this, but like we find out that he is like the most revered warrior of all time ever, and like everyone knows about him. And Aelin's like, don't tell him that, his ego is already massive, which is just so funny because like she also has a massive ego. Like, you should understand where he's coming from. Maybe two people with massive egos get on each other's nerves, and you know what, that would make sense for both of them. Another like 75 pages and we'll be halfway through the book. It feels like this first half has really been building up to something, so I don't know what's going on, like what's gonna happen in the second half of the book. It's a little bit unclear. However, there are some villainous characters that we've interacted with that I feel like they could do like a big betrayal or something like that. Even though I've read this book before, I think I mentioned like last time, my first read through, I feel like I was not absorbing what was going on, and it was really impacting my enjoyment of the book, because you have to be so locked in when you're listening to this because so much happens. And even with the chapters that I just read, we got more reveals of how these characters are even more interconnected. Aedion specifically. We have to read 190 pages a day to finish this before Saturday, which is when Summerween starts. I feel like that's really doable. I have done challenges before where I've read 200 to 250 pages a day, so like that's pretty doable. Hello, I'm sorry that it's creepy and red. Changed our bedside tables to red light. It's supposed to help you sleep better and stuff like that. It's actually really nice. I really like it. But in videos, I'm sure that it looks really creepy and scary. Also, I took a shower and I'm not wearing any makeup, so jump scare. I wanted to do a little bit of an update on Queen of Shadows because I feel like I've read quite a bit more since my last check-in. I'm now on chapter 49, actually. It's been a little while since I picked up this book because Summerween ends tomorrow, so I did switch to reading like thrillers and horrors for that, and you would have seen that vlog. It was probably the last vlog that you saw. How can I update on this without giving away spoilers? I'm gonna be very vague, but there are a couple moments that I really wanted to talk about because I vividly remember the first time I read this book. I'm pretty sure I DNF'd it and I didn't finish it all the way through because there was a moment with Lysandra where you get like a big reveal about her character, and that's really all I can say. But it's like midway through the book, like around the halfway point, they're all sitting around a table in Aylin's apartment, and that's all I'm gonna say. But this time around, this is just hitting different, and it goes to show it can be right book, wrong time. And that's what I said the first time I read it. I was like, I know that I would probably like this at a different point in time, but right now this was just not it for me. And that's why I wanted to give this series a second chance and like read it all the way through and make sure that when I was picking up these books, I was in the right mental space to really like get into it. It's hitting this time around. That reveal with Lysandra, like, it's like I forgot about it, and then once I was reading the scene, it just really, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this, and I really liked it. There's also the big thing that happens with, I always want to call him Autobahn, like the highway, which is so embarrassing. Like, why do I do that? Arabin is insane. Like, the way I wanted to throw this book in joy, like in celebration. I love how that came together. I love how Aylin really got to use her, you got to really see her shine in the whole setup to everything that happened in a different capacity, because we know that she can fight. Like, we learned from Heir of Fire that she can fight. That was her like training montage book, and now she's getting to show off this different set of skills to Rowan and to Adian, like basically all of them. And she can really show off like, yeah, I'm a badass assassin queen. And maybe you knew it because you knew my title, but you didn't know the extent of it, and like, this is what I can do. And I was like, that's our girl. One thing about Sarah J Maas, she writes a villainous character so well. Like, what they do and the extent that they go to, she just writes the evil characters so evil that you can't help but crave their downfall with everything in you. I still have a lot to read. Like, this would be for sure a stretch to finish tonight, even though for the rest of the night I'm just gonna be reading, probably playing Animal Crossing, listening to the audiobook, but I might switch to immersive reading if there's any parts of this that I feel like I need to double read, listen and read with my eyeballs. But I think tomorrow Ross and I are going to the airport because we're going back east to visit our family. I think that this will be a focus on the plane, but I just don't want to carry this big book with me. So I might just switch to listening to the audio, but I do feel at this point that I have a good grasp of like everything that's going on. It was mostly just the beginning. I think from this point going forward, like from this point to the end, it's just going to be action after action after action with things that are already established. And so I think I'm just gonna do audiobook for the plane. I am actually bringing the physical book for Empire of Storms because I have the audio, I have the physical for that. I'm going to immersive read as well, and that will be my book for the plane ride home, but potentially like if I do have time to read, that's what I'll be reading. Hello besties, the hair is wet. We just got out of the shower. We are sunburnt from being on vacation, so don't mind me. But we have a bunch of reading updates on Queen of Shadows and on Empire of Storms. So all I want to do, like, I have been blowing up our Discord because we're doing our read along of the series with all of my like spoiler filled thoughts. So I'm trying to figure out like what I even want to say without being able to go into details, but I finished Queen of Shadows. I finished this on our way to Massachusetts. 4 stars. I am so happy that like upon second reread, this was just so much fun. I vibed with it a lot more. It was very right book, wrong time syndrome the first time that I read it, and this time around, I have nothing but good things to say. Very general and vague thoughts. I was the biggest Caltaine hater in Throne of Glass, like the first book. I loved her in this one. Like, I loved her so much. She, like her character arc is just devastating. Like, I want to cry just talking about it right now. Oh my gosh, she was so good. And then also, a lead is like the most unassuming side character. At first I was like, why are we even here? Like, what is going on? And then when you get her like connection, when you get her backstory and like who she is and then like what she's going through, oh my gosh. And the way that her and Manon interact and how Manon like helps her, I don't know why that just pulled on my heartstrings so much, like so much. Also, Dorian is my Shayla. Dorian is my Shayla. I love him so freaking much. Like, he is probably my favorite character, I think, of the entire series. And the things that happen with him right at the very end of this book, obsessed. I'm so obsessed. I do think that I needed a debrief. Like, after I finished this book, I would say from chapters like 75 all the way through to chapter 89, like the end, I needed a debrief on everything that happens because it's just so much. And I'm really lucky because my absolute freaking bestie from college is reading the series for the first time, and now I'm at the parts that I like haven't read before, so it's me reading it for the first time too, like with her. And so we had like we met up for dinner when I was back in Massachusetts, and we just had like a debrief session on everything that was going on. Oh my gosh, this was crazy. And then on my flight home, we just got back last night, I was able to read 150 pages of Empire of Storm. So we are on chapter 16. I'm planning on reading a lot of this today. I want to get like 200, what time is it? I want to get like 200 pages more into this today to get us really to almost the halfway point, actually, because I'm trying to finish this book before this vlog goes up on Monday. I'm really enjoying adversity and like struggle that Aelin is going through right at the beginning of this one. I was a little worried that now with where she is, she's very powerful. I don't think we've scraped the surface of her power, which is exciting because we got like one scene in this so far, the temple scene, where she does something that's so freaking badass, and I was like, that's our girl, that is our girl. I was in shock and awe, and I'm just so, it feels like she has so many more like badass things that are just going to happen that she's capable of, but she has like adversity against her, not just fighting this like big bad, but I thought that something was going to just be like handed to her once she got to the certain place, and it hasn't been handed to her, which is a really fun way. Like, I'm excited to see how things come about and how we know what's gonna happen, but it's like how she's gonna get there. And so I'm really enjoying that part. I loved that Rowan and Dorian had this little like heart-to-heart moment. I am obsessed with Manon. I have predictions of what's gonna happen with Manon, but I don't think I'm right. Like, I have what I hope is going to happen. It's so weird giving updates on these books and like not being able to go into everything that's happening, but hopefully if you've read these, you kind of understand like what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't, and maybe I'm just talking in code. is dried. We read more of Empire of Storms. I'm on right up to chapter 22, which is page 206. So we read another like 56 pages, but oh my gosh, what was happening in this section that we read, especially with Manon. I had predictions of what was going to happen regarding Astrid, and I knew that like Manon wasn't going to go with it. I cannot believe that my prediction was correct. That never happens. Like, I am not good at predicting what happens in books, but I was walking on my walking pad. I had just shut off my camera from doing B-roll because I was like, they don't need to see me walking like this whole time. I literally was like, hell yes, like screamed it out loud. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And then we kind of switched back to what's happening with like a lead, which was kind of boring, like a lead in Lorcan, and I'm like, okay. And then we're back with Dorian and Rowan, which I love that they're on their own little like side quest. I think it's actually so cute that they're just like together. So yes, we read a bunch. It's now 4:09, so I'm gonna go get set up at my pooter, and we're going to watch Yellowstone, and I can't wait to see my baby boy Casey. Also, if you hear the fan in the background, it's because we really get sweaty and we need to cool down after walkies. But I'm really happy that we walked, because especially like the really high intensity chapters that were Manon, I was like, I always like crank up my speed walking during like really intense chapters, because I start like stepping on the part that you're not supposed to step on, and I'm like, okay, turn up the speed, turn up the speed. Good morning. I just got back from bar and we need to do an update on Empire of Storms. Hold on. Okay. We didn't reach, I think we were reading 200 pages yesterday. We didn't hit 200, but I did read like 150 pages, which isn't bad. We're on page 312. Not bad at all. The next 2 days we have to read like 180 pages, and we should be able to finish on time. This past section that I read, I do feel like for most of it, it was kind of setting some stuff up, so it wasn't like as fast paced, but I ended, and this is like, it was a good and a bad place to stop. I ended at this like battle scene, like a big battle that's like gonna be kind of a big deal, and I had to stop like right as it was starting, which is bad because obviously I wanted to continue reading, but I was so tired last night. I think I stopped reading at like 11:30, but it's good because it really makes me want to like pick it up again. You know when you stop at like a so-so place and you're like, okay, I have to like pick it up again. This, I'm like, okay, I can't wait to see what happens in this battle. Hello besties, stream is done. We streamed for like 5 hours and I am back to reading this beauty. I've only read maybe 70, 60 more pages. Yeah, like 60 more pages since my last check-in. I am just finding that my attention span is like non-existent. It was really helpful to read these books meaning Queen of Shadows and this one, on the plane, because then you have like nothing else to do, and I didn't connect to like the Wi-Fi or anything on the plane, so it was like fully, I had to just have my downloaded episodes of Dungeons and Daddies and then these books, and that was it. And it so helped me just lock in. And now like I think I'm gonna try to do 30 to 45 minute reading, basically reading sprints, but I'm not like on reading sprints, because my brain just like, after like 30 minutes I was like, maybe I should take a break, maybe I should get up and like go do this, or like check my phone or blah blah blah. So my attention span has been ruined because I have been scrolling far too much on TikTok and Instagram lately. I couldn't believe that I stopped where I did last night, even though like there was no helping it, but Oh my gosh, the battle that just happened, like where we're going next is crazy. Also, we just got a little bit of spice in this. I have not been in a spice mood. Who is she? I don't know. It's not a focus of romance, like at all. Like this is YA fantasy. So I was really, really, really surprised at like the level of spice. Like it was not a fade to black moment. It like went into certain details and I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I didn't know that that was in this. It was like ACOTAR level spice. That was wild. Anyways, so that was a surprise. Apologies in advance for the absolute state that this check-in is coming to you from. However, we read to chapter, oh wow, I actually read a little bit of today's section. We read to chapter 60. I'm gonna take a little bit of a reading break for today. Today is Saturday. Today is the day. The sun is shining, the tank is clean. If you get that reference, you're a real one. Today's the day that we're trying to finish this. I had some pages to catch up on from yesterday. I didn't end up reading to, I think it was chapter 54 that we were trying to get to. I read about 125 pages yesterday and then I just needed a break. When I was going to sleep, I really wanted to listen to Dungeons and Daddies, so I did listen to that podcast instead of completing the remainder of yesterday's section. However, we only have this much left. I'm pretty nervous for Tower of Dawn now because literally everybody in the group is in this book besides 2 people. So I'm very curious about how those 2 people are going to take up like 600 to 700 pages. That will be an interesting experience. I understand how that might be quite slow. This one has been interesting though with the pacing because there's definitely pops of a ton of action, but then there are really slow parts in this because there's a lot of like couples forming, and so you get a lot of like downtime in between the big action moments. The raw power that we are getting to experience in this is quite interesting. It's making me very, very excited for the final book, Kingdom of Ash, but we're getting a ton of buildup, like a ton of buildup to that final book, which I'm sure is going to be epic. I know so many people say that Kingdom of Ash just absolutely like breaks them. As someone who never ever binge reads a series, like even reading 2 books of the same series in 1 month, that is very, very rare for me. Having read Queen of Shadows and Empire of Storms just back to back, putting one down, starting the next one like as soon as I finished, it was actually like really nice because so much happens with those characters in both of these books. It was actually so nice to have everything fresh in my mind and not have to worry about forgetting anything. And I'm like, oh, this makes sense why people do this. I'm actually sad that I forgot to record the last like 5 pages of finishing this book. I was on sprints with my Patreon, so like they got to see. I was not expecting for this book to make me cry. With how everything was going up to the last like 130 pages, I was like, this is a solid 4-star. Like I definitely loved certain aspects of this. Momo just came up to me and sat and just like stared at me. So sorry. I thought it was 4 stars. I loved what was happening in like the majority of this book. And I love Elide as well, so like these are kind of separate, but like I didn't love catching up with Lorcan, even though Lorcan and Elide were together and I really liked the things that were going on with Elide. Lorcan, I was just like, keep your distance. I don't know. And then at the end with everything that happens with him, I was like, fisticuffs. I was like, I'm about to fist fight you with my freaking bare hands. I hate you. I'm so mad at you. Like, I cannot see through my anger right now. I don't like Lorcan. I can't deal with him at all. I was weeping, like actively weeping at the end of this book. Oh my God. My Shaylas. And by my Shayla, I literally mean everybody. I mean Aelin, Rowan, Dorian. Dorian has kind of like a happy ending-ish going on. Like, not happy because no one's happy at this moment, but like what's happening with him and his like romance. I love it. I think Dorian's romance is better for me than like Aelin and Rowan. I said what I said. Lysandra is the one that kills me. What Lysandra is doing, that's what had me like weeping. I definitely need an emotional, just like a tiny bit of a break before I jump into Tower of Dawn. But what's crazy is that Tower of Dawn is gonna like go back to the beginning of where this was, and that's crazy to go into that book knowing everything that happened and like where this is leaving off. I'm really happy. I don't know, like I'm happy that I didn't do the tandem read, to be honest, because I feel like that would have been too much. But now knowing that SJM planned this experience for us, of this being, we read this first and then we go into Tower of Dawn, wild that she would do that to us. And then I can't wait to get to Kingdom of Ash and just see like everything come together. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't film like my reactions to reading the end of this, and I'm really sorry. But if you were on Patreon Sprints, like just know the level of unwellness that I was. I'm so unwell. I will be continuing the next installment of finishing all of the book series that I'm currently in the middle of. I try to do like one of these a month. So next month I will do another installment. I'll try to put in Tower of Dawn. I have a feeling that I'm supposed to read Tower of Dawn in August and then I'm supposed to read Kingdom of Ash in September. I have an inkling that I will be reading them back to back. How could you not? Like, how could you not? You know what I mean? So I will try to fit those potentially in the next reading all of the book series that I'm currently in the middle of. We did some amazing progress. If you've made it this far, please leave a little storm cloud or like lightning emoji for Empire of Storms. I will catch you in the comments, and I will see you in my next one very soon. Bye, friends.